So morning guys, welcome to the channel. Haven't been posting much lately, just been too busy kind of getting ready to go to Canada or whatever. So fly on Monday, 9 o'clock in the morning, so like 2 o'clock in the morning bus to Dublin. It's I mean, the country's gone mad. It's €300 to park the car for 2 weeks. I mean, that's almost the price of the flight. There's no way. I mean, like, the country has lost its mind. I don't know what's going on. I don't understand how it can cost €300 to park a car for 2 weeks. It just seems mad to me. But anyway, enough about me giving out about the price of stuff. Let's get back to the topic in hand, which is fishing. So a lot of the fishing we're going to be doing out here is no different really to the fishing we do here. The fish are a small bit bigger, not huge, like, you know, your average fish is 20 inches, right? Which is probably about 8 pounds or so. I personally, for me, the buzz is finding them, right? And we've been scouring the Google Maps of Prince Edward Island, looking for the cuts, looking for the flats, looking for, you know, pinch points where, you know, fish are going to go past you on the rise and drop past you again on the falling tide. We've got a bit of help out there with some local knowledge. Mackenzie and Kevin. Mackenzie has a great YouTube channel. Give him a follow. Mackenzie does an awful lot of fishing, and Kevin has very kindly shown us a few marks and stuff, and it's going to try and hook up with us when we're out there. I think a buddy of Charles is also heading out there at the same time, so we might meet up with those guys for an session or two, which should be a lot of fun. I'm going to concentrate really on, like, you know, my favorite form of fishing is topwater fishing, right? I just the buzz of watching them come up for it and smash it and all the rest. And there's no doubt that, you know, not all topwater equal lures are made equal. Like, some are just so much better than others. And right, everybody's got their favorite and what works for you, etc., etc. And, you know, no, I'm no different, right? I've been fishing topwater, geez, easily 20 years now. I mean, we started with Yozuri Mag poppers, right? They were kind of the only bass lure we could get, right? Those and the big, massive chug bugs by Storm, and what was the other one? The Headon, the Super Spook, right? And I mean, the Super Spook's still a great lure. I still fish the Super Spook. I mean, it's you know, it's a super lure. It still catches fish. But the great thing about Prince Edward Island is it's all single barbless, right? And I understand why, because I often wonder about the survival rate of our own bass, right? Like I return 99.9% of fish I catch, right? I keep the occasional fish for my dad, who's 89, and some of my neighbours who are elderly, they like a nice bit of fresh sea bass, so I keep them a fish, right? Now, I do it responsibly. I keep a fish that I know has been through at least one spawning cycle, and that way then, you know, you're not keeping undersized fish and what have you, and all the rest of it. Now, I think in Prince Edward Island, I think they're going to cull the sea bass, right? Because they're blaming them for the decline in the salmon stock. But I think the decline in the salmon stock is far more complex than simply a bunch of striped bass showing up, you know. But it just goes to show you globally how much, you know, things are changing. You know, striped bass fishing on Prince Edward Island was unheard of 10 years ago, and now it's a booming fishery, right? But I wanted to talk to you just about a couple of lures in particular and how I rig them with singles. And honest to God, I don't miss my hookup rate is just as good this way as it is with treble hooks, right? Now you don't have to do this. You can just, so if you look at, that's the story in Secret of Washi, right? Which, if you watch the channel, you'll know is one of my favorite colors. I just love it. I just have great confidence in it, right? So you can see it's rigged with assist hooks, right? Now, honestly, I think that does improve the hookup rate a little bit, but you don't have to do that, right? Like you can, like I have with this feed popper, right? You can just pop some good size singles on there, right? Those are 1/0s, right? And that's on a pretty big lure. That's feed popper 121. It's the new version of the feed popper. It's a bit better than the old one for a couple of reasons. Well, one, it's a little bit heavier, right? So it's 30 grams instead of 28 because you get an extra ball bearing in there. But I'm not going to be able to show you really. But the nose cleat here, they've dropped it down a bit, right? And if you do a lot of popper fishing, I do a lot of popper fishing, right? And one of the problems is that the poppers can slide off to the side. You know, as you go to pop, it doesn't pop, it just skitters across the top of the water. So dropping that down a bit has given the lure a bit more stability and a bit more grip in the water, so it pops a bit better. The really exciting thing about these is, and I think this will be really true of striped bass, is you can work them really fast. Like you can really pop that thing and it'll get absolutely smashed. So I'm looking forward to doing a good bit of popper fishing. The other lure that, now I haven't rigged a lot of these yet because I haven't had time. These are as rare as hen's teeth, right? But that is the original Zenith Z-Claw Magnum. And I'm not joking you, I have absolutely murdered Irish bass on that thing. I've had fish barely the size of it hammering at it. Whatever it is about the design, shape and action of the Z-Claw, bass just love it, right? So we'll obviously be bringing quite a few of the original ones. I'll be bringing some Ghost Lacan there. I'll be bringing some IU, definitely, right? And I'm just going to rig those up with 1/0 singles. I think will be fine. But a lure I've discovered this year and absolutely fallen in love with because it's done very well for me is the Chappie. The Chappie 80 and the Chappie 100. I really like the 80 here for estuary work and stuff. You know, I've caught some really decent fish downsizing, right? I've been fishing, you know, putting quite a big surface lure over them. They won't come. And then I pop up the little 80 and, you know, walk it over the weed bed. Next thing, poof, a big explosion, you know, and you're into a good fish. It casts quite well. It's very easy to work. It's really reasonably priced as well. Like IMA are not super expensive. Although fishing equipment in general has just become so expensive. Like, you know, don't want to say too much, but I guarantee you this much: you wouldn't make a living selling fishing lures. That's for sure. You wouldn't. It wouldn't do as a full-time job. That's a fact. So that's it, really. I just wanted to give a bit about topwater fishing. I will be fishing some hard lures. I'll also be fishing the fly quite a bit, and I'll be fishing some soft plastics. Got some big plastics in because there are 1 or 2 spots where we chance at a better fish, and I've got a heavier rod with me. So that's the Sayori shad from Ultimate Fishing. I mean, in all sorts of sizes, that lure has just done incredibly well for me. as has the Evo 2 version of it, which I don't seem to have to hand. I had to hand. I was sure I did, but I don't anymore. No, I don't. But I'll show you the next time. It's another cracking lure and cheap as chips, right? Like the one thing I learned, you're always learning, right? Like I did a lot of boat fishing this year, and you learn a lot about bass and how they feed and lures, etc. When you're in the boat, I kind of find it a bit easy, like you know, you can cover a hell of a lot of water. You've got the helix, right? So you can identify a shoal of fish, or you can find a hole and you can see the fish sitting in it or whatever. So you don't have to work as hard from the boat. But having said that, it's also I do enjoy it, and you learn a lot about bass feeding habits. Like one of the things I found out was, I knew already, but it really hammered it home for me, was downsizing, right? Was, sometimes we're fishing way too big, right? Like bass are feeding on really, really kind of small stuff, right? Like, tiny little sprat or small smelt and stuff like that. I noticed recently Henry posted, about finding marks in obviously one of his estuary marks where, the bass dig in, and God only knows what they're looking for. I mean, they could be looking for any number of things. They could be looking for crab, sand, flea, whatever it is they're trying to dig out of the sand. They're in muzzling around, and I think I said this the last day, but I was watching incredible footage of stripers. They're so smart, like, and I know that our bass do the same thing, right? So as like a sandbar empties, right, when you get that last 2 foot of water, it's moving so fast, right? It carries loads of sand with it, right? And that will uncover the sand eel that are buried there, right? And you can see the bass in this footage. They're just waiting. And then the minute one uncovers, thump, in it goes and grabs it by the head. And, that's it. One caught, and it comes back and gets back in position again to do it again, right? So it's just really interesting to see how clever they are, right? So downsizing was just something I picked up on this year as being really important sometimes, right? That now that doesn't mean, and here's the funny thing, right? You can say, oh, I've got to downsize when they're feeding on small stuff. But actually, sometimes when they're feeding on the really small stuff, one way to catch them is to upsize as well, right? Because you might get a reaction strike, like an aggressive strike, right? Like I got a picture of somebody there recently who got a smashing bass, and it was coughing up tiny little sand eel, and he caught it on what looked like, I think it was a duo Sprat 120. I might be wrong, I could be stand corrected, but that's what the lure looked like to me, or something similar. Like it was a pretty hefty kind of a lure. So it's not that when they're on the small stuff they'll only take a small lure. That's not true. Like they will also take a big lure. I mean, every day is different, but then again, I have had days where if you didn't downsize, we certainly wouldn't have caught the number of fish that we did catch. So it's just worth thinking about. You're always learning fishing. I bought some of these guys to bring with me. I absolutely love this. These are it's the Ocean-born bucktail jig, right? And that's got a 4-inch versus shad from Duo on the back of it, right? I think it's going to do pretty good imitation. That one's called Bunker, right? So I think they get a lot of bunker and stuff. So when we get in those heavier rips and stuff, I'll be able to get that lure down to the bottom and let it run along and hopefully pick up some good fish. I'm really not fussed about, you know, I'm not going out here looking for a huge big bass. I mean, I'm just, it's just going to be such an adventure. I mean, the fun is finding them, right, and trying all the different marks and trying to figure it out a bit for yourself. Like, for me, that's the fun. Like, you know, it's nice to have a bit of help, and the lads out there certainly have been very, very helpful, sending us a few spots to get us started, and we're probably going to meet up and do a bit of fishing together, so that will be really helpful. We're not going to be fishing totally blind, but yeah, it's just going to be an amazing trip. Obviously, I'll be bringing the usual suspects. Here's one lure definitely coming with me, because I think on the inside, right back in on the flats and stuff, when it comes to surface lures, that's probably my lure of the year. It's the Espetite 110. It just, I don't know what it is about it. It just has caught me so many fish. Just seem to go for it when they'll go for nothing else, right? It and the Zeg Claw. I suppose there's a few, to be honest, and they're all top water, but then again, I'm just a top water junkie. I love fishing top water. And I this business of oh, and I got it on the top, like, to me, they're no less likely to take it on the top than they are to take it presented in front of their nose. In fact, sometimes I think top water fishing is more successful. Like, they're more likely to take it, right? And I don't think it's as complex as some people want to make out. You know, it's pretty much just cover the water in front of you, like, and see if you can get a fish to turn or whatever. That's the one thing I love about it, is you'll know then straight away, like, are there fish here, right? Like, you see the French lads fishing. I showed you the Asturi. And I got some bigger versions of that to bring with me. That was the 120 or whatever, or 130. But I have the 150 as well going with me. But it classically is a search bait, right? So you're meant to cast and fish it like really fast back and see if you can find. It's for finding fish or whatever, right? Yeah, so that's it for today, guys. You probably won't hear from me before I go. Hopefully, I'm not sure. Charles is looking after the accommodation, so I'm hoping we have Wi-Fi. I certainly will have the GoPro with me, so we should get some good footage of some nice stripers. Certainly we'll be posting some pictures on Insta and stuff. Gonna close the shop down for a bit and just have a break, and then come back and restock and get things back up and running again. So seems to be plenty of fish on the coast again as well, so the summer fishing seems to be, looks like it's going to be a good year. Seems to be kicking off. I see Cormac is doing well in Wexford and stuff, so get out there, and congratulations to my buddy Paul Hines. He had a beautiful fish off the top there. I think it was a 71 or 72 on the Chappie 100 that he bought off me. He's absolutely chuffed with himself, and so he should be. Absolute cracker of a fish, so well done, Paul. Such an enthusiastic angler. I'm looking forward to fishing with him when I come home. So that's it, guys. I will see you on the far side between now and Monday. I am just going